Have you ever felt a chill run down your spine? A prickle on the back of your neck that makes you turn around, certain someone is watching you? That's how it started for me. That feeling of being observed, of unseen eyes tracking my every move. It was on the set of my first paranormal investigation show. We were in an abandoned asylum, a place with a dark history, and the energy was palpable. The air was thick with a strange static, making the hair on my arms stand on end. Then, in the flickering shadows cast by our cameras, I saw it, a dark figure, tall and gaunt, lurking at the edge of our light. It vanished as quickly as it appeared, leaving behind a cold dread that settled in my gut. Things escalated quickly after that. Equipment malfunctioned, accidents happened with alarming frequency, and cast and crew members started to experience vivid nightmares. Then, people began to disappear. One minute they were there, the next, gone without a trace. Fear tightened its grip on us, a silent, invisible enemy stalking us in the shadows. The disappearances forced us to halt production. We never found out what happened to those people, what entity, what force had taken them. It was my first real taste of the darkness that lurks beneath the surface of our world, the terrifying reality that some things are beyond our understanding. That experience ignited a fire in me, a need to understand, to confront the unknown. It was the start of my journey into the abyss, a journey that would lead me face to face with unimaginable horrors. As I delved deeper into the history of the asylum, I uncovered stories of torment and suffering, tales of patients who were subjected to unspeakable treatments. The more I learned, the more I realized that the asylum was a place where the veil between our world and the unknown was thin, almost permeable. The equipment left behind told stories of its own, of experiments and procedures that seemed more like torture than treatment. Walking through those dark corridors, I could almost hear the echoes of the past, the cries and whispers of those who had suffered there. The wind howled through broken windows, carrying with it a sense of despair and hopelessness that seemed to cling to the very walls. In one of the rooms I found an old journal, its pages filled with the scribbled notes of a doctor who had worked there. The notes detailed the doctor's descent into madness, his obsession with the supernatural, and his belief that the asylum was a gateway to another realm. The drawings in the journal depicted shadowy figures, much like the one I had seen, and spoke of rituals meant to open the gateway wider. Armed with this new knowledge, I knew I had to return to the asylum to confront whatever it was that lurked there. This time I was prepared, with better equipment and a team that shared my determination to uncover the truth. We set up cameras in every corner, hoping to capture evidence of the supernatural, to prove once and for all that we were not alone. As the night wore on, the atmosphere grew heavier, the sense of being watched more intense. Strange noises echoed through the halls, and we could feel the presence of something unseen, something that seemed to be toying with us. Then, on one of the monitors, we saw it again, the shadowy figure moving closer, its form more distinct than before. This time, we were ready. We confronted the figure, demanding to know what it wanted, why it was haunting the asylum. The figure vanished, leaving behind a sense of relief but also a lingering question. Had we truly banished it, or was it merely biding its time? As we packed up our equipment, I couldn't shake the feeling that our encounter was just the beginning, that the shadowy figure was a harbinger of something much darker. But I was no longer afraid. I was determined to continue my journey, to face whatever horrors lay ahead, and to uncover the truth, no matter the cost. And so, with a heart full of resolve and a mind brimming with questions, I walked away from the asylum, ready to face the unknown, and to shine a light on the shadows that lurk in the darkness. I met him in the heart of Texas, a place where the sun beats down mercilessly and the land stretches out in an endless expanse of rugged beauty. It was here, amidst the dusty roads and weathered buildings, that I encountered a boy whose story would haunt me forever. His name was Jesse, a scrawny teenager with a haunted look in his eyes. He seemed out of place, a fragile figure in a harsh world. His eyes were hollowed out by fear, his body racked with an unseen force that seemed to drain the very life from him. It was as if he carried the weight of 1,000 sorrows on his frail shoulders. Jesse was possessed, not by a demon, but by a spirit consumed by rage and vengeance. This spirit was relentless, a dark force that had latched onto him, refusing to let go. The spirit was that of a man who had been wrongly accused, brutally murdered, and left to rot in the unforgiving Texas sun. His soul, unable to find peace, had become a vessel of pure hatred. Jesse's story was one of tragedy and terror, a tale that seemed ripped from the pages of a Gothic novel. He was a boy, caught in a nightmare, a living testament to the horrors that can lurk in the shadows of our world. The spirit, unable to find peace, latched onto Jesse, using him as a conduit for its rage. Jesse's life became a living hell, his days filled with torment and his nights plagued by terrifying visions. The boy was tormented, his body contorted into unnatural positions, his voice a guttural rasp as the spirit spoke through him, promising pain, promising revenge. It was a sight that would chill anyone to the bone. We tried to help Jesse, to sever the connection between him and the vengeful spirit. We sought out every possible solution, desperate to free him from his torment. We brought in psychics, priests, even a shaman, but nothing worked. Each attempt seemed to anger the spirit further, tightening its grip on Jesse. The spirit clung to Jesse with an iron grip, its hold on him growing stronger with each passing day. It was as if the spirit fed off Jesse's fear and pain, growing more powerful as Jesse grew weaker. In the end, Jesse disappeared. One day he was there, the next he was gone, leaving behind only an empty room and a sense of profound loss. Vanished without a trace, just like the crew members back at the asylum. It was as if he had been swallowed by the darkness that had plagued him for so long. Some say he's still out there, a puppet dancing to the tune of a vengeful ghost. They claim to have seen him, a shadowy figure moving through the woods, a ghostly presence in the rural landscape. His story, a chilling reminder that some wounds, even in death, never truly heal. Jesse's tale is a testament to the enduring power of rage and the tragic consequences of a life cut short by injustice. It serves as a haunting reminder that the past can reach out and touch the present in the most terrifying ways. As the moon casts its pale light over the desolate landscape, one can't help but wonder if Jesse's spirit, too, is now wandering, seeking the peace that eluded him in life. His story lingers, a ghostly whisper in the wind, a reminder of the darkness that can reside in the most unexpected places. The call came on a bleak November evening. The kind of evening where the sky is a dull, oppressive gray, and the chill in the air seeps into your bones. It was the perfect setting for the unsettling news that was about to come. My friends and I, a ragtag group of amateur ghost hunters, were drawn to the dense, shadowy embrace of the Kentucky wilderness. We had always been fascinated by the unknown, the eerie, and the unexplained. This time, our curiosity led us to a place that had recently become infamous. A group of hikers had vanished, their last known location a winding trail leading deep into the heart of the woods. The authorities had searched, but found no trace of them. It was as if the forest had swallowed them whole. This mystery was too tempting for us to resist. As we ventured deeper, the air grew heavy, laden with an oppressive silence broken only by the crunch of leaves beneath our feet. The fog was thick, swirling around us like a living entity, making it hard to see more than a few feet ahead. Every step we took seemed to echo in the stillness. The trees, gnarled and ancient, seemed to press in on us, their branches like skeletal fingers reaching out to grasp at our fleeting courage. They stood as silent sentinels, witnesses to the countless secrets the forest held. The deeper we went, the more it felt like we were being watched. We started hearing things, whispers on the wind, disembodied footsteps echoing through the trees. It was as if the forest itself was alive, communicating in a language we couldn't understand. The whispers were faint at first, but they grew louder, more insistent, as if trying to tell us something. Our compasses spun uselessly, our flashlights flickered and died, plunging us into an unsettling darkness. It was as if the forest was playing tricks on us, testing our resolve. The sense of disorientation was overwhelming and panic began to set in. Then, one by one, my friends began to disappear. It happened so quickly, so silently, that it was almost surreal. One moment they were there, and the next, they were gone, swallowed whole by the shadows. Swallowed whole by the shadows, their cries for help cut short by the oppressive silence. The forest seemed to close in around them, erasing any trace of their existence. I called out their names, but my voice was swallowed by the darkness. I was alone, lost and terrified, the whispers growing louder, the unseen presence around me growing stronger. It felt like the forest was alive, a malevolent force that had lured us in and was now toying with us. Every rustle of leaves, every snap of a twig sent shivers down my spine. I ran blindly, desperately, until I stumbled out of the woods, gasping for breath, my clothes torn, my mind teetering on the edge of madness. The relief of escaping was overshadowed by the horror of what I had just experienced. I could still hear the whispers, faint but persistent, echoing in my mind. The woods had claimed my friends, their fate a chilling mystery that haunts me to this day. I often find myself wondering what happened to them if they are still out there, lost in the shadows. The forest remains a dark, eerie place, holding its secrets close, whispering to those who dare to listen. The old hunting lodge perched on the edge of a desolate lake seemed like the perfect getaway. Nestled deep in the Colorado Rockies, its isolation promised peace and quiet. But beneath the veneer of rustic charm, a darkness festered, a malevolent presence that made itself known the moment we stepped inside. The air was thick with the scent of decay, the silence broken only by the creaking of the floorboards beneath our feet. As we explored the lodge, we uncovered its dark history, a tale of murder, suicide, and a family consumed by their own inner demons. The temperature plummeted, our breath misting in the air. We heard voices, disembodied whispers that seemed to emanate from the walls themselves. Objects moved on their own, doors slammed shut, and a feeling of dread settled upon us, heavy and suffocating. We tried to leave, but the lodge held us captive, its presence growing stronger, more menacing. It was as if the building itself was alive, feeding off our fear, our desperation. We were trapped in a nightmare, the line between sanity and madness blurring with every passing moment.